What happens when a university changes its relationship with its student-run newspaper after decades of tradition? Purdue has recently made headlines for stepping back from its long-standing partnership with the Exponent. So Purdue University has announced that it will no longer provide support services to the Exponent, which is an independent student newspaper here in West Lafayette at Purdue University. And those free services are that Purdue staff distributed those papers across campus as a free service, and they are no longer going to do that. They actually had a written legal agreement that expired back in 2014 that while they didn't have a current agreement, the university continued to honor it, but just out of the middle of seeming nowhere, the university decided to go ahead and decide that they're not going to do that anymore. The Exponent will also no longer receive parking permits or special access to university facilities. In response to all of this, the university has explained that the university's explanation is the Exponent is a private business, not an official Purdue student organization, that any private business wanting to use university facilities must have a contract. Now, the last contract between Purdue and the Exponent expired back in 2014, and Purdue says it's not interested in entering into a new one, and it cited its policies on institutional neutrality and fairness. So here are the things that are changing. Here's where the rubber meets the road, as it were. Purdue is no longer going to help distribute the Exponent on campus. Now, the Exponent can still use public racks on a first-come, space-available basis, but university staff is not going to be involved. The Exponent is no longer going to receive parking permits or special access to campus buildings for newspaper delivery. It's going to be during open hours only. And I know that's a point of contention for the Exponent and the fact that newspapers are traditionally delivered early. Perhaps, I was going to say most importantly, but Purdue has also asked the Exponent to remove Purdue from its website URL to avoid confusion, since the paper is independent and not officially affiliated with the university. It's my understanding that it is the PurdueExponent.org, but they don't use the word Purdue in their banner on their actual paper. So now the Exponent has a copyright on Purdue Exponent that expires in 2029, I believe, about 4 years from now. So there's some question about that. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be that Purdue owns the trademark, the copyright on the name Purdue and Purdue University. The Exponent's leadership and their supporters have said that the changes came without warning and that they could make it harder for the paper to reach students. And they make the argument that student newspapers do play an important role in campus life and free expression. I clearly grew up in the age of newspapers. There was no internet when I was a kid. And I'm not debating the importance of a newspaper. Absolutely, it's important. But I wonder what their readership truly is for the paper edition. I wonder what their stats look like for that. And I wonder how they're measured. How do you campus full of kids? Purdue has said the decision is about treating all media organizations equally and maintaining institutional neutrality, and it's not about restricting student journalism. This is a student-run paper, but it is not a department or school of the university. So, what do you think about Purdue's new approach with the Exponent? Should universities provide extra support to student newspapers, or is it fair to treat them like any other independent media? Share your thoughts in the chat or in the comments below. And if you found this story interesting, give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you make sure that you get all of the latest Purdue news and share it with friends.